being a father, I used to take the high bar and then say, go and study, concentrate, right?
Yes.
Now I'm going through the travails of it, or tough part of it.
There have been several instances where, based on questions suggested for him in Python 2, he had to do assignments to somebody, and he's asked me for help. We tried finding ways to solve problems interestingly.
CT was amazing. I have done coding probably close to 25 years, and I have been part of some of the products which are the very first in the world. Having been through the grit, the way CT has been delivered, they have handled it really well. Both of us love that course.
So hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Stories by IITM BS, and today we have with us an amazing father-son duo, and both of them are BS degree students. So today we'll have an amazing and insightful conversation with them. So can you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
I'm Subramanian, MK Subramanian. I have a master's degree from IISc. I passed out in 1996, 28 years back. Had been working in semiconductor sector with companies like Qualcomm, Broadcom. Right now I'm studying BS full time.
Amazing to hear that.
I am Ananthnarayanan MS. I started doing the BS foundation level a few months back. I am currently going to my second year in BTech Electrical and Computer Engineering in SNU Delhi.
That's amazing to hear. So both of you are BS degree students. So basically, how did you come to know about IITM BS degree? How was that moment when you came to know about it?
I had been aware of it for a couple of years.
Okay.
And it was very attractive, tantalizing to jump into it.
Yeah.
But I knew it may not be so easy.
Right.
So when Ananta, after starting his BTech, I was egging him or encouraging him to do one more course or take up some more load.
Right.
And I thought IITM BS is a very good course. I've also heard from some of my friends who are faculty in IITM. They are friends from IISc.
Yes.
Now they are faculty. So it's a very, very, very interesting initiative. So we thought we will join it. Together we joined.
Before me and my dad did speak about this, I was studying in PS Senior Secondary School in Chennai, Malapur to be exact, and IIT themselves conducted a small seminar of sorts informing us that this is an option, and this is something that we could do towards. And data science as a concept seemed very interesting to me, so I always had quite a bit of an interest in this. Due to circumstances, I ended up joining a little bit later than my dad, but it ended up happening regardless.
That's amazing to hear. So, how is the experience of doing the IITM BS degree as, father and son? Because you're going through the same coursework, you are in your college years, and sir is in his 50s. So, how is that experience of experiencing the same coursework together and working towards the same goal?
Yeah, it's very interesting. So, being a father, I used to take the high bar and then say, go and study, concentrate, right?
Yes.
Now I'm going through the travails of it, or the tough part of it. Okay, so it's not that I have not been through earlier, but it's fresh and first-hand experience.
Right.
So it's very unique. There have been instances in which I had reached out to Ananta to get some of my concepts clarified.
Yes.
So he had prepared for IIT and he's also continuing here. So it's a repeat. 25 years is a pretty long time.
Yes.
So it had been very helpful. There are a lot of good things about doing it together. There is more camaraderie, if I can say, working together. Of course, he is away, so it's not always there. But once in a while, exchanging notes helps.
As my dad mentioned, there have been a few times when both of us had asked each other questions specifically about contents in the course. He's been doing things that are a little bit more, again, a semester ahead of me. So
Okay.
he's been doing foundation level 2 courses while I'm doing level 1 right now. So there
Okay.
not necessarily much direct course overlap. So he's been helping me with an idea in general of how foundation level 1 is going to be and what exact
Yes.
courses I'm going to cover. Whereas a couple of courses I do in college mainly are all very similar to the courses that my dad currently is doing in IIT.
Okay.
Therefore, again, as he mentioned before, there's some instances where he himself asks me for doubts, and we spend quite a bit of time, if not debugging specifically things to do with Python.
Right.
There have been several instances where, based on questions suggested for him in Python 2, he had to do assignments to submit,
Yeah.
and he's asked me for help. And we try finding ways to solve problems interestingly.
Right. So, sir, like as you mentioned that you have completed your masters from IIC Bangalore, which is a very prestigious college of India. So that you did almost around 25 to 28 years back, and right now you are pursuing IITM BS degree. So, what similarities or what differences do you notice in education system back then, and what you are pursuing right now?
Maybe I'll start with similarities.
Yeah.
Good or bad, the content, first year content, seemed to be almost the same thing. Okay, whatever we did, probability, statistics. Okay, of course, we never had a formal structured English course.
Right.
Okay, there is one here. And yeah, have never gone through or had gone through English grammar long back. So learning about adjectives and all those stuff, it's also fun.
Yes.
But other than that, if I have to talk about non-English or the maths and statistics, a lot of it is something we have done in our first year. Okay, almost the same or very similar content
Right.
is right now there. Is it good or bad? I don't know. Okay, so 28 years syllabus has not changed. It's debatable.
Yes.
So I will say the similarity, I will say number one that strikes me is this. The other part is the way it is being delivered.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to rush, finish our breakfast in the morning in Bangalore, cold,
Yeah.
rush to the class at 8 o'clock. Some of us sleeping. So now it's entirely we can choose when to do it. Okay, it has its own advantages and disadvantages.
Right.
It's a very different leveraging on the technological advances,
Right.
and it's a different way of learning. A lot of self-discipline is required.
Right.
Okay. So I would say that these are the top one that comes to my mind: similarity and difference.
Yes, absolutely. And Ananta, since you are also pursuing an offline degree at SNU Delhi in BTech, so any contrasts or differences that you notice between the IITM BS degree, or how is your experience as a whole of IITM BS degree compared to your offline degree?
I would say that the biggest similarities would be there's quite a bit of overlap between some specific courses, namely maths and CTE, because I am not really doing a statistics course right now, so doesn't make sense, and we don't really have English formally in college as well. But again, as my dad mentioned, the biggest difference would be the pace of learning and how the level of involvement you put into the learning is very different as well. Essentially, it being online and with only an assignment as the only major deadline
Right.
allows me, for example, during summer, the time period where I don't really have much going on,
Yeah.
it allows me to do something consistently, productively, and again, keeps the lull that happens between the summer months of college going at a slightly better pace.
Okay. So since like we have the content delivery mode online, so in online mode we sometimes face accountability issues, and you as father son duo doing this degree at the same time, how is that experience for you when you have assignment deadlines, weekly assignments, you have graded assignments, you have your quiz every month? So how is that experience of completing the assignments and going through the process?
Maybe I'm more like my younger version even now.
Okay.
So if there is assignment, maybe I'm also taking it too lightly. So I start relatively late and then scramble to finish.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how it starts at the start of the semester. You do not so good in initial
Yeah.
couple of assignments, and then you realize, hey, you can't take it for granted,
Yes.
and then you learn your lessons, and then start a little early, and then have enough time
Right.
to try it out. Okay, so there is a learning process which is non-technical, if I can say. Even what are you capable of, what is expected, so on and so forth.
Right.
So there have been a process, and it has instilled some discipline,
Right.
made me do things the right way, if not right from the start, at least in between.
Right. And how was it for you?
As I mentioned, because there's quite a bit of overlap between two courses, it's been fairly interesting, especially some assignments. Genuinely, it's great. Some assignments, because of I've already done parts of it before, are not are some breezes or a week. Some weeks are essentially a breeze to get through,
Yeah.
but other weeks, especially for statistics, is quite hard.
Yes.
However, one of the things that has helped me or given me better perspective in the coursework is especially the lectures in certain subjects. For
Okay.
example, statistics has been quite insightful as to how the course is organized, and
Yeah.
the CTE lectures give a very good understanding of the fundamental principles
Yeah.
of the very code I'm writing, and that allows me to code in better ways
Yes.
than just following certain steps, and that perspective is quite helpful, and I believe will be helpful for my offline degree as well.
Sure, of course. Like the first term of foundational level, we have the subjects that actually build the basics for the second term and the upcoming levels of the BS degree. So initially we have this computational thinking. So it actually builds your foundation for understanding the programming languages, Python and everything that is taught in the upcoming terms. So I think that is really helpful. And also we have this activities, we have societies, clubs, and we also have offline fest called Paradox. So would you like to share any experience, any specific experience with that? And also we have city meetups as well. So have you been a part of any of these?
Yeah, so maybe before answering specifically your question, I think I should
Yeah.
concur a second what Ananta was saying.
Yeah.
CT was amazing. Okay, I have done coding probably close to 25 years. And I have been part of some of the products which are the very first in the world.
Okay.
Been fortunate to launch products. Okay, having been through the grit, the way CT has been delivered, Professor Madhav and Govind Madhav and Professor Venkatesh, I
Yes.
don't remember their names.
Yes.
They have handled it really well in a very interactive.
Yes.
The way they have delivered is also spectacular. Both of us love that course. Okay. Having said that, coming back, I was there for a day in Paradox.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there was a competing engagement marriage happening,
Okay.
so I couldn't come here and meet fully. So I was there during the inauguration. That too, the director was supposed to come and talk, but unfortunately he couldn't in May. So that was the only interaction. I have just now received the invite to join the house.
Okay.
Namata,
Nalla.
I don't know. I
There
need
are
to go
many
and
houses
yeah.
actually.
So the orientation is tonight.
Okay.
Call is today. So I'm being initiated into all these stuff. So hopefully there will be such interactions more.
Absolutely.
And also, speaking of city interactions, there was a summit conducted on AI and machine learning that happened, I believe, about a few weeks back.
No, couple of weeks, 10 days back.
About 10 days back here at IIT. Me and my dad made it a priority to visit. It was a really good perspective into artificial intelligence and data science, and Mr.
Some of Karthik Tyagarajan.
Karthik Tyagarajan,
He was the one who coordinated
with quite a few data science students in their third and fourth year pitching in to help as well.
They were
It was
talking
a
about their projects.
really good summit. And that was a great experience we had here.
Yeah, very valid one. Yeah.
Okay. And Ananta, offline you are doing BTech in electronics.
Electrical and computer engineering.
Okay, you are
specifically.
doing it in electrical and computer engineering. So how is the IITM BS data science and applications content helping you in that offline coursework?
As I previously mentioned, in computer science specifically, it's quite helpful to get perspective on the code I'm writing and figure out what is a better underlying process to solve a specific problem than to just
Right.
brute force and try
Yeah.
using a method I'm already familiar with. It allows me to chart out other possible solutions and go try finding a more efficient one. Um, Other than that, I've been there have been quite a bit of focus on going through some fundamental formulas that I've been using in different subjects. So, say for example, in the statistics course, there's been quite a few formulas speaking about how we arrive at formulas for
Yes.
things like standard deviation and other things. And I've
Yes.
been using those concepts in physics, so it gives me more underlying ideas as to how to do things. I believe the more I progress in the course and the
Yes.
more in line the course material comes with the current material I will be doing in college, the more similarities and the more opportunistic ideas I would get that connects my data science course to my current offline course I'm doing in SMU.
Very true. I really hope that happens. Also, sir, since you are pursuing this degree standalone, so how is a day in your life of being a IITM BS degree student at around 50, 52? How is your life like? Because you are maybe provoking that student in you again. So how is your experience now?
Yeah, I'll put a mask of a very good student. So maybe closer to the Wednesday when the assignment is due.
Okay. Yes.
If that is the case, yeah, probably it starts Sunday, Monday. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm doing a couple of other courses as well.
Okay.
And I'm also trying to dabble around, explore things.
Right.
So I spend on an average probably about 4 to 4 hours per day.
Right.
I should be increasing, but about 4 hours, 4 to 5 hours
Right.
per day. So I have my routines like gym, temples, all those stuff.
Yeah.
Other than that, probably more in the evening.
Okay.
I end up spending 4 or 5 hours. Okay, so English relatively had
Yes.
has spent less time.
Yeah.
Not justified. I'm not saying it's fair.
Yeah.
Statistics and maths
Hmm.
had been more. CT had been very interesting, right,
Right.
in the first semester.
Right. So usually, like when we have our deadlines for graded assignments, it is a very I'll say a very hyping situation because sometimes we realize that okay, deadline is near. So when you are a father's son, so has it ever happened that there's a deadline and one of you has forgotten about the deadline and other is just calling and reminding? A lot of such scenarios.
I would like to mention. So, I believe on the week after our first quiz,
Yeah.
Right.
the deadline had instead of it,
Being a Wednesday.
both of us had assumed that the deadline for week five
Yeah, after
was
first.
on the Wednesday,
Subsequent
the
Wednesday.
subsequent Wednesday after the quiz. So leaving
Okay.
the quiz was on a Sunday. The next Wednesday after was the deadline. So me being so my dad being busy with other courses was working on that broadly.
Okay.
Well, I wanted to check because I remember seeing the deadline being on the Sunday and not on the Wednesday.
Okay.
So I decided to do it and I submitted a couple of my courses and I said, hey dad, I believe your deadline might be on, my deadline's on Sunday. Not sure if IIT will make it in such a way that it will be on Wednesday.
Okay.
My dad did check. It was on Sunday. It was, I believe, Saturday when I told him. So, again, a massive scramble to submit as many things as possible happening at the same time. So, yeah.
Okay, like that is really, it happens with most of the students that they actually rise up when the deadline is up. So that is the thing. And also we have in-person quizzes. So how was that for you? Because we have the center allotments and we have to go to the center to give our monthly quizzes, our end-term exams. So being a college student, how was it for you, like traveling to the center and giving the in-person quizzes?
So, my first attempt at this, so I already attempted the qualifier once, I believe, sometime around January, February in Delhi. However, I had my first qualifier around the same time as my midterms.
Okay.
Exact same weekend. However, the center had some issues. It was really, really far away from me, so
Okay.
I
There was
missed
this
that attempt. Therefore,
farmers agitation was also there.
so therefore, I started fairly recently.
Hmm.
This attempt, however, has been pretty great because we had the same center at Kovalambakkam here and worked
Okay.
out fairly well.
He had taken a couple of competitive exams earlier, so he's more familiar than me. Yeah, it's a very different experience for me
Right.
taking a quiz like this.
Yes.
We have had open book quizzes,
Yeah.
which is a little different.
Okay.
Not the norm, but we dread open book quizzes because it's tougher.
Yes.
So here it is online, go down, and then that's very interesting. When you look at the questions, the way they have been structured, they have been formed,
Yeah.
you used to think that it's more route based, but I have learned a lot saying that there are ways in which even if it is an MCQ, you can ask conceptual questions.
Right.
So very interesting. So it has been a different experience for me.
Of course. So absolutely, and we have a lot of diversity in our BS degree program, right? From the age diversity to the cultural diversity, we have students from almost all the states of India. So diversity is a very significant thing about the IITM BS degree. And also there's this saying that age is just a number, so there is no age of learning. And I think you are a live example for this very statement. So would you like to emphasize on that for the viewers who are watching this?
I think each one have their own perspective.
Yeah.
I love what I'm doing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm fortunate enough to love what I'm doing. This learning, some of it, what I have learned a quarter decade back.
Yeah.
I'm learning it differently, understanding it better.
Right.
So I see this as an opportunity. My previous generation, even if they had interest, I don't think they would have got this opportunity.
Right.
So I'm very thankful to IITM for giving such an excellent way of teaching. Okay. I mean, to be fair, I did speak to some of my friends, and when I told I'm doing these courses, the specific course, do you remember that prof, that 8 o'clock course? He said, man, are you mad? What are you doing it once again? You could be doing something else. So each have their own perspective. Is this the right value add for me? It's debatable, but I love what I'm doing. So from that point of view, if you love what you are doing, what's stopping you? Go and do it. That's it. Okay. If I can add one more,
Sure.
I thought that I may be one of the few 50 plus persons doing this course. Okay. When I went to this in-person quiz,
Yeah.
there was quite a good number of them, 20, 30 of them. Okay. Not only in data science, but also in electronics.
Yeah.
Okay. So hats off to them. Once again, when we were discussing, we are grateful to IITM giving a platform for us to come back and learn in such a
Right.
formal way. So this is a very, very, if somebody is interested, yeah, there is nothing stopping us. Age certainly doesn't stop us.
Absolutely. That's a very powerful message that you've given today. And of course, and Anantha, like, how is the flexibility? Because we have this hybrid mode, so the flexibility is something that is really significant. A lot of students are able to do this degree along with their offline degree, and you are one of them. So, would you recommend this degree to your other friends or people watching this who are looking forward to doing this as their dual degree or maybe standalone?
I definitely would. As I would say, this degree has been genuinely great in giving me perspective in my college courses, as I've mentioned before. It's
Right.
been quite wonderful. I would also like to account that because I'm just starting, I may not necessarily have the best perspective.
Right.
Quite a few of my seniors in various different degrees, their various majors in SNU, may they be economics or math or computer science, they have completed up to the diploma level and even higher, almost to the full
Okay.
BS course level. And they believe that doing this course has given them a much higher level of not only understanding in their very fields because of how fundamental data science is
Yeah.
to the very nature of how we look and
Yeah.
organize data, because most engineering or STEM courses or even studies done in other major fields such as sociology or history involve categorical analysis
Yeah.
of data that you get from it, and having understanding of data science allows you to just do it better. And because of the perspective they've gotten, they've not only gotten much better in doing their own individual courses, they've also gotten much better at, have also gotten much higher opportunities in various institutions for doing
Right.
masters and other courses, because they have this data science degree and the and not to mention the IIT label that carries much weight. Therefore, very thankful for IITM for giving me this opportunity to do this course.
That's great to hear. So I would like both of you to give one message, or maybe it can be a skill or a heartfelt message to the viewers that you are really passionate about conveying to the viewers who are watching this. So what would that be for you, sir?
Pursue your passion. Whatever you are passionate about, please go for it. You can never fail.
Right. How about you, Anantha?
Pursuing your passions, probably one of the best things is that regardless of any other path in life you're doing, okay, having a good foundation is necessary for you to proceed.
Yeah.
And focusing on skills such as education, be it any level of higher education, guarantees the basic minimum level of skills. So regardless of what you're doing, I would highly suggest you do this. And if you're probably watching this, you are pursuing this IITM data science, and I highly suggest you focus completely on doing whatever you're doing to the full potential. That's all.
That is something really important. Maintaining good foundations of whatever you are pursuing, and of course following your passion. It is something that's really important, because you find contentment when you do something that you're really passionate about. So that was really a good and powerful message, and it was indeed a great conversation with both of you, and I'm pretty sure it would be really inspiring for our viewers to look up to you guys as an inspiration of doing this IITM BS degree, and also conveying a strong message that there is no age limit of learning, and learning is a continuous process. Upskilling is a continuous process. So I think it was a great conversation with you, and thank you so much for taking out your valuable time and having a conversation for the viewers. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.